I actually think, because if you told someone we're selling a game in the subway system, it almost screams tongue shooter, and I think we're really proud of how we used, particularly through a very rich palette of lighting in the first game. We managed to create a lot of different environments. It wasn't a grey and brown shooter. It had a really rich range of colours. What we've been able to do with Metro Last Light is we really changed the way we rendered the outdoor environments, and you actually spend more time on the surface this time around. In Metro 2033, Moscow was locked in this nuclear winter, so all the outdoor environments were grey and white and locked in snow, and they had this eerie charm around them, but they were quite uniform. But we've moved the storyline along, and we've suggested that the first signs of spring are here, so there's sunlight breaking through the clouds, some running water, a bit of vegetation. We've also introduced these dramatic and dynamic weather effects, so smoke and fog will roll across the level, rain will come down, lightning will light up the sky. We have day-night cycles running as well, levels taking place at night as the sun goes down, and that's just given us a much richer range of environments to introduce the player to outside. And we're also taking you to some famous Russian landmarks that you didn't visit in the first game, and I think by and large we've actually got a really varied range of environments, much more than you might expect. It's built on the 4A engine. It's the studio's own in-house tech. It's constantly evolving all the time, and one of the advantages of working with your own tech is if you need a feature or you want the engine to do something, you can just do it yourself. You're not trying to work with an off-the-shelf solution, and then I don't think there's any other piece of tech that could render the world of Metro the way we want it to look. The philosophy for the studio has always been to aim initially for the very highest setting. We're always working with the very latest video cards and the highest spec PCs. There's, whether it's the lighting or the physics, a huge amount of it's a hugely capable piece of technology, and we then see how we can adapt that to the current generation of consoles. And by working that way around, I think everyone gets the best of both worlds. I mean, I think the PC version is comfortably one of, if not the best looking game that you can play on any platform today, but we're still incredibly proud of what we've achieved with the 360 and the PS3 versions. We've got the dynamic lighting and physics in those. We're doing effects on those consoles that you don't see in many other games. We've expanded the weapon count. We've added a few more of these handmade weapons. Prof, our creative director, he has an engineering background, and he's obsessed with his guns, and actually all of the handmade weapons that you encounter have a real basis in reality. The idea is that they could conceivably be made, so we have lots of pneumatic weapons like the T-HAR. It's a pneumatic sniper rifle that fires ball bearings, the Helsing, which is kind of a 6-cylinder harpoon gun, and on these pneumatic weapons you actually have to crank up the air pressure to maintain projectile velocity, which is a cool feature. And then the signature weapon, the Bastard gun, it's this submachine gun with a side-mounted clip, and it can overheat. You see a little plume of steam coming out, which lets you know it's about to overheat, and then it will jam. So yeah, the guy is absolutely obsessed with guns and making them feel true to the world. We always knew that we had a great game there, and there was history with THQ, the original publisher. At the time, I don't think they realised what a fantastic title they had, almost hidden in a drawer somewhere until far too late, before they were really able to get to grips with it and market it effectively. But fortunately, the strength of word of mouth really, has given the first game a really extended life. It's referred to as a cult hit, but over PC and 360 now, there are over 4 million players who've actually picked up and played Metro 2033. So we have a huge fan base who are ready for this game, and THQ had already begun to take Metro Last Light much more seriously. They were putting a huge promotional effort behind it. You probably saw the fantastic live-action trailer that was released before E3, and I think Deep Silver have really picked up those reins. They're going to get behind the game and support it and give it that marketing campaign that I think it deserves. So we're hoping for a lot more success this time around. Yeah, I'm just really glad that we can be talking to you today and saying it's still coming, it's nearly finished. It's only 2 months from release now. It survived the transition. It's a really exciting time for us. I think it's at least as long as, if not a little bit longer than Metro 2033. It's really tough to put an hour length on that. I know it's substantially longer than most single-player campaigns out there, which seems to be getting shorter and shorter these days. And we've worked really hard to put a lot of replayability into the campaign as well, not least through the choice system at play within the game, but just the inherent replayability of the levels. So we think people will be pretty happy.